Hello everyone. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make something similar to Keqing's scale stellar restorations from Genshin Impact. So let's get started. So in the game, when I press or tap the scale button, it spawns the objects over there, and I press it again, it spawns the location of the object. And one more thing is, if I keep holding the scale button like this, it enters the aim mode. And the moment when I release the scale buttons like this, it spawns the objects over there, and I press it again. I just teleport to the location of the object itself. And that is the thing that we are going to do later on. So by the end of this tutorial, you should have the result like this. So if I press the buttons here, it spawns the teleport object there. So if I press the buttons again, yep, it spawns to the location of the object itself. So if I keep holding the button there, it enters the A mode, and the moment when I release the buttons there, it spawns the object there, and no matter where I go it, for example at the back of this here, and I press it again, yeah, it spawns to the location of the object itself. So what we need in this tutorial is the object that we use for the teleportations. So actually we can use the objects from the Unreal Engine, which is the mesh that is provided from there, or if you have any mesh or any 3D model that you want to use it for the teleport object, then that's fine. Either way, or any other methods that you can choose any one of it. So as for the character that we are going to use in this tutorial, I'm going to use the third-person characters over here. So if you have any characters that you want to use it, that's fine, but in my case, I'm going to use this one. So let's open it up. Alright. And the next thing we need to do is to create a macros for the hold or press input. So let's create one macros here, and I'll rename it as hold or press underscore input. Right, here we go. So how are we going to create this macros here? Actually, it's exactly the same thing that how I did for creating the Zhongli pillars in my previous tutorial video. So you can just refer it back to that video and create the macros here, and I'll leave the link below down there. So you can just pause the video here, and then you can just come back to this video here and after you have set up the macros. Okay, so after we have set up this macros here, and the next thing is we need to create the we have to create the inputs to execute the teleportation or spawn the objects here. So but before that, we need to go to project settings here, and then go to input over here, and then we need to create another mappings of action mappings over here. So in my case, I'll just go press here, and we need to rename it as actions or any names that you want to put it. And as for the button that I'm going to use for the input, for the action itself, I'll use the key here. Right, now we have done for this action mappings input here. We can just close it up and go back to third-person characters, and then just type the one that you have already named it for the action input. In my case, is the actions here. And after that, we need to put out this hold or press macros here and set up the durations, like let's say, okay, I think I will just set it as 0.1, or maybe for now I just set it as 0.2. And the next thing is this that I need to do is that I need to create widget blueprints over there, so that when I keep holding the buttons, the action buttons here or the scale buttons here, it spawns out the aim points in the middle. So just okay, first we need to we need to save all the things that we have done it, and then just go back to go to content drawer here. Then let's create widgets here, and it's under user interface widget blueprints here. Select it, user widget, yes, and then we rename it as WBP aim point, and let's open it up. Alright, and the next thing is go to the panel here, and yeah, we need what we need is the canvas panel here, and then just drag it here. And one last thing is we need to do is to put the image here, to drag it here. And because we want the aim point is in the middle, so that's why we need to go to the anchors and just set it here. I mean, set the anchor here to the middle here, and just reset all the positions here, and size as well. And we just need to set it like, yeah, because this we want to make the image here like a cube shape, or if you have any kinds of ways to make it your aim point in other methods or any texture that you have it, that's all fine. But in this case, I just try to make it simple, so I just leave the image like this, and then just make the size X into 30. As for the alignments, I just put this as 0.5, and it should show out like this. It's pretty simple. And then again, and compile it and save all. Okay, remember before we just go back there, we just need to check again. Anchors must be in the middle, and the position are 0, and only size X is 30. Size Y we don't touch it, and then alignment only the first part is 0.5. Alright, so we are done with the widget endpoints here, and we just can close it up, and then we just go back to the third person characters. And the next thing is we need to create is the teleport object itself. So that is we just need to go back to content drawer here, and then go to blueprint class, and then create an actors blueprint here. And as for the name itself, we just call it as BP underscore teleport object, and open it up. Alright, here we go. And then after that, we need a mesh to represent the object itself. So first thing first, and we need to go to the settings mesh. Okay, if you have any 3D models or any mesh that you downloaded or created or anything else, just the source itself, you just choose a setting mesh. But in my case, since I do not have any models or mesh that I have it, so I just use the basic shape from Unreal Engine itself. In my case, I just choose sphere. And as for the sphere itself, I just try to make it smaller because this size is actually bigger than the character itself. So in my case, I just set it like 0.4. Remember you have to lock to enable this lock, because so that you can just make all the scale value, make it the same, so that you don't need to do it manually. Alright, I think this should be okay about it, and we just leave it for a while. Just don't close it out because we are going to use it later on. And go back here, and then we need to try to test it that the moment when we press the buttons here, and then it should spawn the teleport objects to the level. So from here to the tab itself, so drag it, like we just say spawn actor from class, and after that we need the select this class over here and choose BP teleport object. Alright, and then remember that we cannot just after we set up the objects here, we just compile it. Actually, we definitely get errors because we didn't set up the spawn transform here. So while just for testing purposes, we just go to split here, and then let's say type. Let's see, we just drag the self. We need the character self here. Yep, get the reference to self, and then get actor location, and we just drag it to spawn transform location here. Let's see, we just for testing purposes, we just need to test out whether the actor is spawned to the level or not. Compile and save. Yep, it spawns. And you can see that the moment when I spawn the object, the character always keep moving to the side. That's because that we didn't disable the collision of the object itself, and that's what we need to go and fix it. Go back here, go to the mesh itself, and we just set it like, okay, originally I would say that we just set it to no collision, but for now we just need to set it to overlap or dynamic, and I'll tell you why we need to set it that way. So we just go and overlap or dynamic here, compile and save, and then press play, then press tab here. See, the object won't push the character to the side. So I think it's a good time for you all to catch up with me. Just pause the video here and see how it goes. Right, so the next thing that we're going to do is to create the aim mode. So let's go back to third person character here, and go to viewport here, and because we want to make when we enter the aim mode, the view should be like get close to the character itself. So that's why we need to create another camera actors here. So you can create it either from the add here or just simply duplicate the follow camera component here. So in my way, I just select this one and then duplicate, and I'll rename it as a camera. Right, as for the position of the camera itself, because try to make it like the character is on the left, and make sure this, well, just try to make sure the camera is like just like on the left side. So as for the digit, the value itself, I just set it as 264, 22.9, and 35. Yeah, this should be good enough, I guess. And well, you can just keep adjusting the location after you have set up all the codes and nodes. If you think that's not good, you can just set it as much as you want it. Then after that, we just go back to event graph here, and because we want to make a smooth camera view, so we need to create a timeline here. So let's create a timeline. As for the name, I just name it a T underscore camera view, and then click it. And as for track, we just use the flow chart here. As for the name, I just set it as view, because we want to make the view to be more faster when entering the aim mode. So I just set the length as 0.2. After that, as for the key itself, starting point, we just put it as 0, 0 everything, and the next is 0.2, the next value is 1. Yep. Remember, length is 0.2, or maybe you can just make it more faster, that's up to you. In my case, I'll just put it at 0.2. So that's done. That's done for the timeline itself. And go back to event and graph and drag from view. We just set it as blur vector. Since it's the location of the camera itself, we just need to use blur vector here. And after that, because we need to identify the location of these two cameras here, so we need the variables represent for the location of these two cameras here. So here we just right click it, promote the variables, and again here, as for the name, I just set for the starting point, which is A here. You just put it this way: camera view original, and the next one is camera view A. Okay, remember to compile and save the project, or else you won't. Okay, actually just compile it, and or else the value we want comes out here. But of course, remember to save it as always. As for the location itself, I mean the values here, you want to set it up. Go to the actress component here. Actually, you just can just right beside the words here, right click, and then you can copy it up. But since my original is everything set 0, so I can just ignore it. But there's a thing that I need to copy it up. So beside the words, right click copy here again. Beside the words, paste up, and here we go. And compile it. And then since we want to set these relative locations here, so that means we always start from the starting point, which is the photo camera here. So drag it here, and then drag it, type set relative locations. And then from this return value here, we just connect with these new locations. Now updates here. Yep, and we are done with the timeline here. If you want to make a comment here, that's up to you, but in my case, I do it either way. Anyway, I mean, camera view. Alright, so let's test it out whether the camera will run smoothly or not. So first thing first, we just need to disconnect all of these, and we are going to use it anyway, so don't delete it. And as you can see that, okay, we just put it this way. Play here, release is reverse, compile and save, and let's test it out. So if I hold the buttons here, yeah, and if I release it, it should be like this. And here's one problem. So when I'm entering the A mode, the character doesn't move according to the camera itself, I mean the rotations, and this is not what I wanted. So how to fix this? So go back to the characters blueprints here, and under third person characters here, and we just need to drag down and find the, let me see, wait, never mind, we just go to search here and press actor. Where is it? Yeah, just type your, oh yeah, it's pawn, sorry. Okay, here is the one that we need to enable it with. Okay, it's not exactly enable it, but because when we are holding the action button or the buttons here, so you should enable the rotation yaw here. So how do we do it? So from beside here, okay, what's the word again? Rotation yaw. So we need to type rotation yaw here. Rotation yaw. Just drag here. Copy again. And we just need to enable it when we hold it up, and after we release it, just disable it. Wait, let's try it again and see how it works or not. So if I hold T, if I rotate the camera here, yeah, it moved accordingly how when I rotate the camera view like this. So if I release it, yep, it disabled the camera yawn. Alright, so that's the end for the part 1 of the tutorial itself, and the next tutorial part that we are going to create the line trace in order to spawn the teleport object itself. So that's pretty much for it. I'll see you in the next one.